The USA has a $768 billion war budget, while our cities fall into chaos, violence, and disrepair. Vast death and despair will be our constant companions. However, there is one thing that just might make this a little more palatable: the new cheese-flavored Doritos. Come get it.
Welcome to Apocalypse Soon. Tonight's show, special guest Andy Kindler. And now, your host, Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody, thanks for coming to Apocalypse Soon. Guess what? The world is spinning out of control. Remember when you were a little child and you used to spin around? The first time we got high was by spinning around and fucking up our equilibrium. Well, that's going on a larger scale right now, with endless war, with endless poverty, and with the end of the ecosystem. And we have with us tonight our band leader, Bobby and the Mephistophelians. Hi, Bobby.
Hey, what's going on, Pepperoni? Love to see it. Love to see you looking good today. Love the hat.
Thank you, Bobby. You guys look great. Last week I asked you if you were taking B12 shots, and I found out all you guys were on cocaine.
Well, you know, the band, you got to get them all jazzed up for the intro. Otherwise,
Right.
These fuckers that come out here start playing fucking Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and whatnot. I like to pump them full of coke and tell them it's B12.
Be careful because of the fentanyl, Bobby. The Sackler family, who owns Purdue Pharma, even though they've been disgraced, they would have your ass in a basket in a second. So, Bobby, thank you for coming on. And now I'd like to introduce Bobby, still an inveterate anti-vaxxer, Bobby. Thanks for sticking to your guns.
Never get it. I'll never do it. Never, ever, ever.
Yes, and Bobby's been on his deathbed several times from COVID, but you come back thinner.
Thank you.
And you come back stronger, I think.
I appreciate it. It's mostly the drugs.
Yes?
But and your kind words are also kind of like a drug to me, too.
Oh, Bobby, you big softy. And I also want to say hello to my sidekick and producer, Kevin Tinkin.
Hello, Eddie. Good to see you. Great to be here. Happy to be existing in this plane of existence in such a time of joy and happiness.
Kevin, you know, it's interesting that you say that, because it really comes down to, like, with all this stuff going on in the world, and it is an unraveling, you know, the great unraveling. Like, have you ever watched a cat take apart a ball of yarn?
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you something. A lot of people come at me because mostly I am posting dog pictures lately, okay? Yes, I'm invested in my dog, Charlotte. Why am I invested in Charlotte? Because we both have anxiety, addiction, and anger issues, okay? She's a terrier. It's the 3 A's: anxiety, addiction, and anger. So I'm very invested in my dog. We both are like we have an apartment that's a window that's on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And we both are at the window going, "Who are you?" Like, I'm saying that, and Charlotte's like, "Roof, roof," but she's saying "fuck you," and I'm next to Charlotte saying "fuck you." You hear her?
Yeah.
"Fuck you," whoever you are. And then it's like a delivery guy who says, "Oh, I have a package for you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Just let me let you in." Like, I have to backpedal a little. But me and my dog are very similar. You know, we both have that anger. We're both addictive personalities. We just spend this whole great unraveling eating.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we both were abandoned. I was abandoned and given up for dead when I was a toddler. You know, I had to go to work when I was 2. These kids have it easy today. At 2 years old, I was working in a salt mill. Do you understand that? And it wasn't that precious pink Himalayan salt.
Fuck that
it
salt.
was dirty salt. You ever get into the pink Himalayan
I
salt?
have.
Oh, the pampered fucks with their pink Himalayan salt. I had to work in a white salt mill, and it wasn't white. Okay, I was the only white guy there. This was back in the 1950s, all right? And it was just me and other people of color. You know, and I was covered in salt. I was whiter than white. Okay, I was covered in salt. My doctor at the time, I was 2, said I had a sodium problem. I said, no shit. I have a sodium problem. I'm covered in fucking salt. And the reason was I had to work in a salt mill at 2 years old, and everybody's like, how come you're so negative, Eddie? How come you promote this podcast saying the podcast with no upside?
Yeah.
Because I'm used to no upside. All right? People my age back then were listening to the Beach Boys, watching the Marx Brothers. I was taking salt. With my bare hands, I had to stuff it. We had to stuff it into salt shakers. Raw salt into salt shakers. And that is what has formed me. And so many people these days will not let their children work until they're, 15, 16, 17,
Lazy.
As a toddler, I was pushed in with one of those baby carriages, and it wasn't a fancy baby carriage where you had like a place for your Starbucks coffee.
It was basically a wheelbarrow.
It was a wheelbarrow. It was a wheelbarrow. And there was a saying on the wheelbarrow that was the saying of the mill. It just said, fuck you on it. That was the saying of the place I worked for. Fuck you.
I will say, some of the best fucking salt came out of that mine, though.
I'm not going to lie either.
Beautiful salt.
Yeah, there was a lot of good salt that came. That was basically how, what is the salt? When it rains, it pours. It's a famous salt company.
Morton salt?
Morton Salt.
Yeah, Morton's.
Morton Salt was terrific.
With their...
There's a child with an umbrella, I believe.
But they ripped that off from your salt mine. You know, Morton is always taking advantage of child labor, where your salt mine, they actually put their money where their child labor was.
But Morton is a proud sponsor.
Yes.
Because they own me. Morton Salts own me. And when you're fucking putting salt on your pasta or your meats, just fucking know that they were made. I would live much longer. Do you know how many years they're telling me that the Morton salt mines took off my life? I could be as old as Dracula because I have a will to live that's unparalleled, even though we're going through this horrific time with the ecosystem collapsing. I'm laughing because I think there should be a game during my podcast where people drink every time they hear the sentence, the ecosystem is collapsing.
That's great.
Because I just hear myself saying that a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
But the salt mines really...
I don't know how I got
really
into the
aged you.
salt mine.
Well,
bit.
you start to get nostalgic about childhood, you know. And
right. Childhood isn't a time to explore.
Yeah.
Okay? Childhood isn't a time for love. All right? Get your children into the mines. Okay? Get your kids into the mines. Don't be overprotective. Oh, I got to drive my kid. By the way, all these fucking parents, I don't have kids, so I hate when oh, you have a couple of kids.
I got a couple of kids.
Do you do this thing? I can't believe how parents line up with their fucking cars, these schools around where I live.
Oh,
these
Jesus.
cars, it's like they're lining up to be healed. Like, how many cars are no kids walk home anymore, huh?
No.
They just get picked. Do you?
I pick
Are
them
you
up.
in that line as well?
I'm in the line. Yeah, I'm in the line with my kids, and we sell a lot of products. When I pick them up, so that we can live. And I always keep
Sell a lot of products.
Yeah, well, my kids, I tell them you got to contribute to the family if you're going to be a part of the family, And
Yes.
And I always keep like a glowing hot knife with me. I like to heat it up in the cigarette lighter. And sometimes my kids go, Dad, can I just go home and play Fortnite? And I just look at the hot knife, and they know. They know exactly what's going to happen. I go, get out there and sell some fucking
school.
A&W root beer.
That's old school. Okay? my producer heats a knife with a cigarette lighter.
I put it right by their eye.
It reminds me of when I used to I traveled this country jumping boxcar to boxcar. Right? Most people don't know what a boxcar is.
Yeah.
A boxcar is not like the Mini Coopers. A boxcar was, and it still is, a thing on cargo railway, and I used to hide in with salt.
By the way, if you need any free stuff, you can go down to downtown Los Angeles by the train tracks.
That was a big news story.
And you pop in those box carts, you get all kinds of good stuff down there.
They actually raided all those trains. They stole.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was because supplies were stalled. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we have a supply chain problem, among other things. And let me tell you, people want to know, how do you fix the supply chain problem? I'll tell you how you fix the supply chain problem. You stop consuming.
Yeah.
We consume way too much. You don't need to consume things, folks. So many people I know want food, and they bitch about, I don't have money for food. Really?
I'm hungry.
Right, I'm hungry. Stop eating. Stop eating, stop driving, stop walking, stop taking your goddamn yoga classes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to bend backwards so I can kiss my ass. Nobody wants to see you kiss your ass. It's unnatural.
Yeah. If people take the money that you're using to shove your fat face full of Twinkies and throw it towards, maybe like a creative artist that's speaking his truth on a weekly basis.
And what Kevin is saying is that I have a Patreon account that needs you to go to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone or eddiepepitone.com and hit the Patreon button. Become a Patreon member. All right? Because I am going to need money. Okay?
Yeah.
I can't be like you people and not eat. Okay, the supply chain is important to me. I have to have a good life while you people suffer.
I went to pick Eddie up today because his car broke down.
That's right.
And right off the highway, I saw him. He had his bills. He was holding up his bills, going, "Look at this, help!" I'm like, "Eddie, get in the car."
Yes.
And so
I
help him
hold
out.
up my cable bills on highways. I hold them up and I say $200 from Spectrum. And then a lot of people yell to me like, "Why do you have to get the top tier stuff?" And I'm like, because I want to live properly.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
We got a great show today.
Okay, we do have a great show, and thanks everybody for stopping by. We have Andy Kindler
Oh, my God.
coming in for an interview. That lunatic. We got a lot of good stuff, so stick around.
And now, checking in with Al and Margaret, a couple living inside Eddie's head.
Al, turn the podcast up. They just introduced us. What are you talking about? They just introduced us. I'm looking for my lithium pills. Where did you put them? They're behind the soy milk. Soy milk? Why do you always hide my medications behind non-dairy milks? Okay, last week you hid my Wellbutrin behind the oat milk. I am anxious to see what you're going to hide behind the almond milk. What's behind the almond milk is your prostate medication. God damn it! I know my prostate medication was behind the almond milk. All right, Margaret. Hey, Margaret, did I ever tell you I love you? Oh, Al, why do you have to be so mean and then pivot on a dime to love? I mean, how do you go from 0 to 60? I go from 0 to 60 because I love you, Margaret. You got legs for days, and you're a reader, and you're someone who knows how to shake the moneymaker, and you're someone who also listens to Chris Hedges and Noam Chomsky, and you read people like Philip K. Dick. I read a guy named Philip K. Cock. Don't start, Margaret. Don't start with that kind of crap. Look, baby, I am going to send you to ballet school as soon as I can get the money. But we're a hard scrabble family here, Margaret. We live in New Hampshire. Hey, Al, you don't have to narrate our lives. I know where we live. I know that we have a hard scrabble existence, but you better send me to ballet school because I just need to dance. I need to dance, Al. Margaret, I know you need to dance. I'm not an idiot. I see with my 2 eyes. Okay? Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Ah, come on, Margaret. You're quoting Cole Porter now, which is another thing I love about you. Look, Margaret, here is a gift certificate. I can't afford to send you to ballet school right now, but here is a gift certificate to Marie Callender's Pies, which closed down last week. So I don't think you're going to be able to get... You bastard! Just for that, I'm gonna hide your statin pills behind a non-dairy item, the non-dairy mozzarella. Okay, you're not gonna be able to find your cholesterol medication because I bet you didn't even know we have non-dairy mozzarella. Margaret, please don't hide my medications. Look, I love you, baby. And that's the important thing. Even though this empire is crumbling and the ecosystem is collapsing, which means we have to drink. We drink a lot because there's so much pain. We drink, Margaret. We drink like fishes. Al, I love having a hot toddy. I love having a hot toddy with you as everything collapses. I love having a hot toddy and putting on Wolf Blitzer. And you just read to me sometimes from Norman Mailer's first novel before he became famous. Oh, well, I love when you read Norman Mailer to me, and then you take off your shirt and you do a little monologue from Streetcar Named Desire, and then I take a gummy bear, and it's nice to get loved, especially while you're high.
This has been Checking In with Al and Margaret.
Ladies and gentlemen, Apocalypse Soon is happy to have on a fellow troubadour, if I may call him that. He comes from a long line of vaudevillians, burlesque. His relatives took trains to gigs with the Marx Brothers. Please welcome Andy Kindler to Apocalypse Soon. Andy.
Thank you. I want to thank you, Eddie. Can I open with a joke?
Yes. Please do.
How many
Oh man.
how many light bulb it's going to be
By
how
the
many
way-
light bulb? Oh, god damn it, I messed it up. How many
By the way,
screw
this
something
kind of
into a light
act,
bulb? How does it go?
By the way, this
how does the
kind
premise
of-
go?
Hold on. This kind of act, what you're seeing right now, is what you can see if you go to an Andy Kindler event. You can see this kind of timing, this kind of, and also the way Andy is putting his head right into the camera. We can see that there is some balding. There are some spots going on there, but it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
I think my premise is incorrect, but here's the joke. How many Dave Anthonys does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Oh, now you care? Now you care? You didn't care when Deng Xiaoping put his entire country into darkness? Now you're asking me about light bulbs? Concerned about light bulbs?
Andy, I want to talk to you about, the podcast here is dedicated toward chronicling the decline in
What's the name?
It's called Apocalypse Soon. I've already mentioned it a couple of times, but it's okay.
I like that.
It's okay that you didn't pick that up.
That'd be a great name for my cable show.
Always taking notes. By the way, whenever I am with Andy, there are notes being taken constantly by either Andy or one of his handlers.
He did it again. You can't say Andy Kindler because of my last name, so you have to say Andy. It's a plot.
No.
Now I planned it before I got in the show business. Look who looks bad now. Who's got egg on your face?
No, it was because I was trying to say Andy Kindler and one of his handlers. So the handler.
You can't say it. Andy. You can't. Try it now. You can't say it. Try and say Andy Kindler right now. You can't say it.
Andy Kindler. So listen, Andy.
Oh, you did it! You did
it! Andy, we're chronicling the decline, the crumbling, the descent into madness and hell that the world and America is going into. However, we are comedians, and you just brought up Dave Anthony. How we're such strident, emotional people. Isn't social media dangerous for us? Go ahead, talk about that a little bit.
Or you. This is the way me or you are going to die. Hello, boom, boom, boom. You talked about bang, boom. How dare you call me a moron on Twitter?
Yes.
Bing,
Yeah.
boom, shoot, 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 shoot.
Yes. My knee-jerk reaction whenever somebody comes at me on Twitter is to go, "You fucking asshole." I will really fucking, it's like there's no, but now, by the way, have you gotten this from Twitter today? I wanted to tell a guy to go fuck himself, and what popped up was humanity.
Sure.
Did you ever get that from Twitter where they say, "Hey, do you really want to send us, or you want to think about it?"
Oh my God.
I'm serious.
They do, and they also ask me ridiculous questions like, "Are you sure you want to read the thing?" No, I don't want to read it. I want to RT this tenuous accusation that this man in Cleveland is making.
Right. I am a minor celebrity, and you come at me about the Russian invasion?
Yeah. Well,
first of all, what did I have to do with? I'm getting people coming at me already about, you're blaming America for the Russia invasion? I'm like, I am trying to get Patreon subscribers.
That's right.
That's what I'm doing.
Hey, let's use the example, Eddie, of the argument that we had about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
That I had to actually apologize. You apologized, but I had to apologize to you because the thing was, whatever you said. Here's what you said. You said, "Oh, Andy, what are you, a moron?" No,
Probably.
No, but it was like whatever it was. And then my answer to you was, "We're through."
Yes. I was.
It's over. And my podcast partner, Josh, said, "How do you say that to this guy you love for so many years? How does that give you a chance to react?"
Love has nothing to do with it, Weinstein. It has
Weinstein.
Weinstein, whatever.
Wait. Which is he? He's the opposite of the other one.
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah. The Weinstein brothers?
No, he's Weinstein. The bad guy's Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got
Jews. Not all Jews.
Wow.
Yes. So anyway,
Most of the Jews.
Anyway, as a comic, Andy, and I don't know if you're down with this idea, but I want to launch an invasion myself into various parts of the world for Patreon.
Yeah.
Like just Patreon invasions where I can get some forces together and I'm like I'm going door to door, threatening families, going, "You subscribe." All right? Because I've had it with earning a living. I've had it with having to go to clubs where I'm mildly respected by a quarter of the audience.
Wait, shouldn't we first plan to invade a comedy club? Shouldn't that be our first?
I have people on that right now, but they're asking me for numbers.
We're coming in. You're not getting me out this time just because of the walkouts. No one leaves.
Yeah. We have to get people on the inside in the clubs. I mean, then maybe people can come at me on Twitter about starting an invasion. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you know this about yourself, but you're a passionate man.
Yes, I
You
am.
wear your emotions on your sleeve, and then you tell people, "Look, here's my emotions. I'm going to shove them down your throat."
Yes, but you're very similar. And
Am I presenting myself as the rational alternative to Eddie Pepitone? No. I say, "How dare you?" Probably more times than I say hello during the day. How dare you? How dare you?
yes,
My other one. Are you saying? Do you? You said this to someone on Twitter, like an idiot. I go, "Are you telling me?" He goes, "You don't have to lecture me about the U.S. Role, how screwed up the U.S. has been." And he writes back, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know your Twitter history." That's right. Why should he have to know my Twitter history? Why am I required? Oh, you don't have to tell me. Have you not been following me for the last 15 years? No, sir. No, I have not been.
Yes, we are not equipped to deal with this kind of it's a ridiculous. Can you imagine if the pioneers, and actually that's probably a politically incorrect word to use now, but people who, settled.
You mean Toady Fields? Pioneers, Toady Fields?
Toady Fields?
Fields is a pioneer because she was one of the first. Why is pioneer wrong now? I never heard this.
Well, I'm thinking that since we committed genocide against Native American populations, that to call yourself a pioneer.
And alleged.
That's right.
Alleged.
That's right.
But let's say the people who first got here, if they had Twitter, it'd be like, "Hey, fuck you!" Like I often think of what the Twitter exchanges would be in different periods of history. Like, "Hey, fuck you!" The Indians were coming at me and my family. That's why we destroyed that village. You know what I mean?
How about back in the day? Back in the days where, I'm on Twitter all day. Why that guy look at me funny? Back in those days, if someone would look at you, if you said, "Why are you looking at me funny?" they'd strangle you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, and what would the Instagram accounts be like back in the days when the country was nascent or nascent? I'm not sure. I always fuck these things up.
I think both is acceptable if you're Norm Crosby. Do you like this joke? Regular Norm Crosby.
I love that. And by the way, Norm Crosby, has been very silent since Russia has invaded.
Is he dead?
Oh, maybe that is why.
He had my favorite joke where he would say, "Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets?" "I don't know, Norm. The war's been over for 63 years.
Well,
Why would they still be wearing?"
look, Crosby has people around him the way we have people around us. He had handlers. We have handlers. Yours are called Kindler handlers, which is tough to say. We all have handlers, and they tell us what to do. And that Crosby's strength was helmets in WW2. Crosby.
That was his whole thing, yeah.
And malapropisms.
Would you tell here's my other classic. Would you tell a one-legged hitchhiker to hop in?
Now, Andy,
You don't see enough hitchhiker jokes these days.
No, we don't, because hitchhiking is a lost art because of all the murders and the forensic files and America's Most Wanted and the Netflix documentary.
The woke mob. The woke
mob.
Again.
Right. The woke mob has made hitchhiking impossible because I drive a rig. I'm sure you do as well. It's a comedy rig. I just drive it, from town to town. And I'm looking for people with their thumbs out so I could throw them in the rig and, tie them up and make them listen to my early stuff, like the real early stuff.
You were funny from day one, my friend. You were funny from day one.
That's right.
I remember you coming out here and you had recorded a comedy piece that made me laugh so hard. It was Jeremy Kramer
Oh, shit.
calling you to say you claimed it was on 9/11 that he was calling you and he was saying, "Hey, I can't. They've taken off McClintock. I can't find McHale's Navy on cable. Has something happened?"
I don't remember.
So the premise was that he had called you the night of 9/11 to go, "Hey, it's a 2-hour diagnosis murder."
Yeah, well, I love to poke fun at the crumbling. World Trade Center was one of the things that certainly woke us up to the fact that, violence could come here. What do you do to stay sane besides tell people to go fuck themselves on Twitter?
I'll tell you what I do to stay sane, Eddie.
Serious.
I have twice a week a therapist paid for by the Screen Actors Guild medical insurance. Thank you, Screen Actors Guild. And that's helped me. The therapy has helped me. And for those of you who can't afford it, I'm just like Leno. I haven't touched a penny of my Tonight Show money. How are you enjoying your poverty?
I don't, Leno's amazing, and I know he's one of your influences. Leno, Corden, a couple of other folks. But it's amazing that he hasn't touched that Tonight Show money. My residuals.
Tell anybody that. That's crazy. You would tell people that in an interview.
Yeah.
Tell them, Jay, don't forget to tell them how you have so much money that you haven't had to touch most. They're going to love that. They love that. People
kids.
love that.
He's got no kids, so where's he going to leave it? I've been kind of throwing my hat into that ring, like Jay.
We should ask him if we can go visit his cars, Eddie. Wouldn't that be great? Me and you showing up. Like they dress those car guys.
I don't even care about cars. You know what I mean? Like I like I like the smoothness of it. Do you know that somebody, they got me in their Tesla and they said, "Hold on to your hat," and they just floored it, and my fucking stomach went into my mouth. Have you ever been in a Tesla? Apparently, it's unbelievable, the 0 to whatever it goes. And that's why I'd say Musk is doing the right thing.
I have a funny anecdote to play off of that, because I always come prepared. I was in my friend's car who has a Cadillac. He happens to have a Cadillac. And we were smoking pot.
Oh, wow.
And then all of a sudden, I swear to God, I said, "Oh, my God. I have to go to the emergency room right now. My heart is heating up." He had heated seats in his goddamn Cadillac, and I thought I was dying. It took me 10 minutes to say, "Look, I have to really say now, I don't think my heart's supposed to be heated up." Now that's privilege. I guess those are stories about people with privilege.
Yeah.
The time I was in a Cadillac and realized it wasn't a heart attack; it was just heated seats.
Well, that is, by the way, to counter my story about the Tesla with that is really good Tonight Show material. And
panel, it's good. I always told you must prepare. And you ask me, how do I get through the pandemic? I prepare panel stories, a couple hours a day. Prepare panel stories. I pretend that you're asking me questions. Oh yeah, my trip to Peru. Yeah, that was.
By the way, I could see you teaching night school, and the name of the class is Preparing Panels, and a bunch of guys showing up who think it's going to be about redoing their basements, and you were like, okay, when you're seated next to the celebrity, don't be that nervous. They just want you to do well. Yeah. And one guy, a blue collar guy,
is proud to present. The Learning Annex is back if they're still around.
I was wondering if they are the Learning Annex, or did Russia annex them? That was just a timely joke. But yeah,
Eddie, I can tell you're buttoned down. It's like you've got a note. You got to button it down, because I know that you had your hands. You had your hands clasped in front of you as if someone had beating you with a spoon.
Yeah, you know what it is? I just mean business with this podcast because a lot of my previous podcasts have been just thrown together willy-nilly. And now I'm like, no more slapdash.
Yeah.
No more
What's your
tomfoolery.
through line? People don't know what your through line is. You need to have an elevator pitch.
Ah, yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's what you need.
And my elevated pitch would be this. What do you mean? You're only taking it one floor? Why don't you just take the stairs then? My pitch has got to be longer. My pitch, you need to at least go 3-4 floors. You ever try to do an elevated pitch where someone is just going 1 to 2nd floor? Not easy.
Right. I mean, that really puts the pressure on.
Yeah.
It's on the moon. It's a comedy club on the moon. Goodbye. Here's my car.
By the way, do you think that fascism will take hold here? Do you think there will be fighting in the streets here in America, and just like you'll have to be fleeing, and I see you with your selfie stick. This is how I see you fleeing. This is how I see you fleeing, like the coming unrest. You will have the selfie stick in front of you, your phone facing you, and you're like, look, now's the time to do a cameo. We only have a certain amount of time. I can talk to the people who are distressed in your life with a lighthearted video. What would your let's do this. What would your cameo be like if we are under attack from Russia and China?
The air raid sirens
And
are going
fascism.
off.
Yeah,
You can hear
air raid.
machine guns and bombing.
Yes. What would the cameo be
It would
like?
be like. See, I was already
My wife's
contacted
birthday.
by Us Magazine for their new fascism fashion column that they're doing.
Oh.
Fascism fashion.
You're
So
a
I could maybe
wordplay
tell
guy.
people
That's
you're
why
on
you
the
like
go.
Crosby.
I think my whole thing is wordplay now. That's all I can do. That's all I do.
Well, it's the pandemic, and you haven't been exercising as much.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I saw
What?
You,
Why do you say that?
Well, because
I've been exercising.
yeah, I mean,
I walk
you
like
look
a
good.
maniac.
You look good, but that's probably because you're drinking a lot of coffee and the adrenaline. No, but
If I look good, Eddie, it's because the adrenaline.
yeah,
That's the only thing that's going to get me through.
I have bad sciatica now, by the way. I don't know what's going on, but last night it got so bad that I couldn't sleep very well. And I just
Where do you feel that? Is that like
lower
I always
back,
don't know where that
lower back,
feels.
leg, butt,
Oh.
cheek. It's like you never had it. Huh? Good for you.
I don't know, but you're making me. Is it wrong that I'm getting a little hot?
Lower back.
Oh, I'm the bad guy. Oh, I'm wrong because he's talking about his butt, and that made me sexually horny. Oh, I'm the bad guy.
I just picture a trucker in Pittsburgh watching this, going, I don't know who these kids are, but they all kind of reek of privilege.
And let me thank Rob Schneider one more time for getting this whole truck convoy thing going. Thank you, Rob.
Wow, that's
Well, you are it turns out that you're unfunny, Rob. Our fault.
I'll tell you, that Lorne Michaels machine has given us so much hope and laughter
Just
through the
constant
years.
gold.
That's right, because Goat Boy was in there too, right? That guy turned into a nutcase now. Jim Brewer?
Yeah, about anti-vax.
I don't want anybody to be checked for vaccine. Nobody needs to be checked for. I don't care if there's leprosy.
Yes,
What was that an impression of? Not good.
That was decent. That's a little.
I don't know,
Brewer.
but I want to end with this, Andy, and thank you for coming on, and thank you for taking time from your unbusy day. But I want to end with this. Okay.
Hold on, Eddie. Hold on. 1 more minute, sweetie. 1 more minute. I'm coming. Make it fast, Eddie. Make it fast.
I want to end with this. I have asked you for a cameo for my birthday, but we've just been invaded by Russian and Chinese troops, land, air, sea. Go. It's my birthday.
Eddie, happy birthday. It's Andy Kindler. Look, maybe you were right about a lot of the things about your constant paranoia and your belief that the end was coming. Now that the end is really coming, I just want to say that keep your hopes up. And it's very hard to relate to this because I cannot imagine if I really thought I was in physical trouble that I would be making a message to Eddie. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I would be thinking about
bail on
would
this.
be Eddie.
Please don't bail on the premise. I am buttoned down now. This podcast means business, and it needs its guests to deliver. It's my birthday. We're under
Eddie.
invasion. Go.
Eddie. Oh my God, Eddie! It's coming down. It's coming down. That's not the way about it.
It's
really coming down out there with the bombs.
It's
Eddie,
coming
Eddie,
down.
Eddie, I just want to say, in case we don't make it. I just want to say, in case we don't make it, you were right about that one joke where I.
By the way, and that's the physical type comedy you're going to see. So please enjoy Andy. Andy, where can people see you, and where can people find you, and where can people avoid you?
I don't want people to find me. I think I already messed up my camera thing here. I look like I got the Barbara Streisand lens. Look, they can't see me. I'm not going anywhere, but I do have Thought Spiral. Hey, you know what you need? A podcast with Josh Elvis Weinstein, and you can still download my album called Hence the Humor.
Yes, I listened to it. It was terrific.
Very proud of it.
It's very great. Hence the humor. And Cameo, where can they find you on Cameo?
Oh, just go to Cameo, $35.99.
Are you $35.99? That's a deal.
$10 cheaper. Do you like Eddie, but you don't have $45.99? Come on over to Andy.
I don't like the
three
Cameo.
payments.
The Cameo fucks take a percentage of my tips, and I told them, don't fucking touch my tips, assholes, and they do. They had no response to it, so I don't know. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're
I'm so
part of
glad
the
you're on
crumbling.
there.
Andy, thank you so much for coming on.
You guys.
We love you. Thank you, Andy.
Love you.
Thanks, Andy.
Get him out of here.
Join us for Existential Life Coaching with Rachel Fell.
Let's talk about fame itself. Fame. What is fame? What is the obsession with celebrity and fame? When I get in front of people and do this thing, or Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I have to really watch myself for being too living in this, like, oh, they love me, they love me, I'm great. No, it's like, I'm great. Because what's right on the other side of that is I'm shit. Shit. Mm-hmm. I'm shit. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like fame, or that double, or that the it's like on every coin has two sides, right? Like, if you're into this fame, I got all these followers, then one day, they're going to turn on you. Like, everybody is so fucking, fickle, right?
You and I talk about shadow work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
you just illustrated it perfectly. If the reason why, so, back to that operating system thing, or like having a relationship with ourselves that's honest and kind. Why do we do anything that we do? If what we're doing is looking to fill a void of love and acceptance by getting that from the outside world in the form of like a certain number of likes or whatever it is, then the shadow side of that is the belief that runs that is that I'm shit and I need everybody to tell me that I'm not, so that I'm okay. Again, external validation is a very normal human thing. So it's not about this or that. It's like, can it be balanced? The Buddhists talk about the middle way. And it's like, can we balance this internal positive regard that comes from having a genuine relationship with the self, which again, we're not modeled, we're not taught. It's the weirdest thing for most people to even hear about this, because it's not something that like we even have a mental template for that it exists.
Yeah.
So then that balance of like, hey, I'm all right. I'm pretty cool. I like myself. I'm a work in progress. I'm doing a good job. Good job, me, with getting up on stage and like doing the thing. And that frees you, right? We've talked about how like rebalancing that has been very freeing in a sense, because it's not, the stakes don't feel so high. It's like, and I don't mean to speak for your experience, but we were talking about like a situation recently where you were on stage, I think you said, and it like didn't go as great as you wanted to. And you're like, I don't even care that much.
Yeah. Well, I was related it to when I was younger, bombing is, as a comic, is like a very lonely, it's like it feels like for me an ultimate shame or embarrassment. Like and I've had many dreams about this too, where I'm standing in front of people and they're waiting for me to perform and I don't know what to say, like I go mute, you know what I mean? And I'm really getting judged, and all that stuff. But, I just want to talk about, as we're talking about this stuff, there's that part of me that's like, come on, Eddie. People don't have time for this philosophical bullshit. They need to earn a fucking living.
Yeah.
And, that kind of pragmatism, can really like say to myself, you're this privileged guy who gets to talk about this shit and it's nothing but talk. And it really defeats. It really is. What is that? Is that the shadow? I think it's like the ego that is getting in there and saying, this is bullshit. You need to prove yourself every day if you want to eat, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I think it could be, we could give it all sorts of names. I was going to say red herring is what I was going to say. It's
red herrings.
Yeah. Red herring, that sort of like, look over here kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I just knew the Yankees had a pitcher named Red Herring.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he always, he was very distracting to, like, people were like, what is Red Herring doing? He's doing something that's not part of what we're doing.
Why is he on a pogo
That's just red herring for you.
On a pogo stick? Does he have drugs? He's not supposed to have a pogo stick on the field.
From Ramdas to the Kinks, to the inexplicable slaughter of innocents in the endless wars perpetuated by fear-mongering, profiteering scumbags, Dow Chemical has been there, whether you know it or not. We are part of your life. Deal with it. Dow. Hi. We see you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside, where we chronicle the crumbling, the unraveling, the devastation that is. If it hasn't hit you yet, it will. And before it does, I want to again implore you to rate and review us on iTunes, right, Kev?
Please.
Please. We need that. We need to get popular. We need to also implore you to subscribe to my Patreon account and become a Patreon member. There's bread and circus levels. Go to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone or go to eddiepepitone.com and become a Patreon member. Anything you want to add, Kev?
I just want to say, my wife has gotten a lot of new lingerie, and we could really use those reviews, because what she'll do is she'll put on the lingerie and then I'll whistle, because I'm from the 50s.
Yeah.
And then she'll go to the iTunes review section, and if there's not 3 new reviews, she goes,
Not tonight.
Sorry, not tonight,
All right.
pal.
So please, I think that's an added reason why to subscribe and rate and review us. All right, everybody, thanks again for stopping by. This has been Apocalypse Soon.
Have a great week.